and does an assessment to see if it's something we can do. We do partner with Fritz Heating to do our air or the furnace checks.
Okay.
So if it's something that we cannot do, we will go out and hire someone to do the work for us because we are volunteers. All of us are volunteers. And then, so we usually respond within a day or two because so many of them are an emergency situation. So then we go out and do the repairs. We get volunteers to come with us and do that.
Wow. So tell us, so it's the Fuller Center?
Fuller Center.
Okay. But is there a longer name to it?
We're an affiliate of the International Fuller Center for Housing, but we are called the Illinois Valley Fuller Center for Housing. We focus on the Tri-County area, Woodford, Peoria, and Tazewell.
Okay. All right. And so all volunteers or?
All volunteers. We have a board. Our organization is run by a board, and then we have volunteers. We have home repair volunteers. We have fundraising volunteers. We have yard cleanup volunteers. We have volunteers who go and work the concession stand at the Civic Center. We go out and earn our money, so that's one of the ways we earn funds to do the home repairs for the veterans. We don't charge the veterans for our services. We do also sell T-shirts at the Riverfront Market in the summer. We sell them at the airport, and we also sell them at Kickback on Fulton. They're a Play in Peoria shirt with Play in Peoria cups, and then we also have whiskey shirts because, of course, Peoria was the whiskey capital of the world. So we have those shirts also, and that's a great way to raise funds.
Very cool.
We save Prairie Farms milk caps on the bottle of your milk. There's a little code, and so I have all the Starbucks in Peoria and Pekin. They partner with us, and they save the caps. So each time you go into Starbucks, you are helping us because we get a nickel for each one of those caps. So I peel the sticker off, and then I take them to a family, and they enter them, and we've raised over $3,000. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when it's a nickel a piece, it is a lot.
That's a lot of milk caps. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And then we also we encourage people if they have a Kroger card that we are in the Kroger program. So all you need to do is go on Kroger's website and register us as your charitable organization, and then every quarter they send out a check.
Just for shopping at Kroger?
Just for shopping at Kroger.
It's a program where every time you swipe your Kroger card,
right.
It associates, I think, 1% of your entire purchase, probably before tax, to whatever organization you donated. So
I've never heard of that.
Just by getting your everyday groceries.
Yes.
Wow.
So it just takes a few minutes of your time to do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd never even heard. And I've had the Kroger card for.
I don't have mine set up either. I just learned about it earlier this week.
Wow. Yeah. So is that something new, or has that been going on as long as you know?
It's been going on for quite a while. We started it just a year ago, but I know it's been going on a long time. I know a lot of the schools, the parents do that for their schools to be able to get that money.
So that means everyone right now has to go online to Kroger.com or whatever it is.
Especially right now. Thanksgiving is coming right up, and you're buying all that food for Thanksgiving. That's right. So get that card registered and get it swiped.
That's
so it costs you nothing. You just swipe your card, and they keep track of it. So it's
and then you guys get a check.
Yes,
that's amazing.
Every quarter.
Very
awesome.
Cool.
And it's nice. I mean, it adds up. We went from getting $20 to now we're getting $100 and some dollars. So I mean, it's growing.
Every little bit helps.
Yeah, it does.
Wow. Do you have any other stories you want to share about some of the veterans you've helped locally?
Well, one thing that we're doing this week is that I can think of is we also have another program that November 1st to the 11th we go out and honor a veteran a day.
Oh, cool.
So what we do is Starbucks gave us a gift card, Chick-fil-A gave us a gift card, CEFCU gives us money to buy gift cards, and then the First English Lutheran Church knitted us hats. So we have 11 veterans. For no certain reason, we just go out and thank them for their service. So this year we partnered with the Notre Dame Key Club, and they are an energetic, wonderful group of kids. So we've been going out every day and honoring one veteran. We go into their home or work and surprise them and give them a plaque. and we also give them the gift cards, as I said. And the first year we did this, we went in, and there was this man, and he was like 80 years old, and he had been in the military for 40 years. And we go in, and we present him with the plaque, and he's looking at it and goes, "Well, it's about time somebody thanked me." And we just started laughing. He was so precious. It was just so cute. So we still have a couple more to do of that, but
Yeah.
it's so neat because we went to one gentleman, Sean Tootal Smith, the other day, and he was totally overcome with happiness. I mean, it really is a neat thing because it just takes a little bit of our time and we go out. And then I know that one lady, we had done a yard cleanup for her husband was getting in bad shape, and this young man went out and did her yard, and she sent me an email. And you know, a yard cleanup doesn't seem like a lot, but to some people who can't get out and rake their own leaves and things, it is something really big. And she sent me an email back, and she said, "I just walked out and just started crying because I was so touched by what he had done for me." And you know, it's stories like that that are just amazing. We have this one lady, she's so cute. She's 80 years old and probably 4 feet tall, and she's just the cutest little thing, and she is just fascinated by the Sigma News. They come out and do her yard every year, and she requests them, and the Sigma News are about 6 feet tall, and she's this little shorty, and she always says, "Are the boys coming? Are the boys coming?" And she just lights up. And the neatest thing is she gives each person who does her yard a $2 bill. And these kids had never even seen a $2 bill the one year we went over, and we're going to do that next weekend, and it's really going to be fun because she just loves them, and she's just the sweetest little lady. But so many of the people cry when we do the work because you know, we went into this one gentleman's house, and it was really sad. He had his arm, he'd had an operation, and in the bathroom, the best way to describe it was like a mini grave, because someone had come out and started doing repairs in his home in the bathroom because he had some plumbing issues, and he had dug up this square box to get the repairs done, and then he just left and never came back.
Oh,
so when we went in there, you see this situation, and it's just, I mean, it just breaks your heart to think that people live like this. And you know, especially the man with no water for 10 years, he works at his local church, he volunteers every Saturday, and he's just too proud to ask for help.
Wow.
And it just, when you go in and you just see it, it really is sad because they've given so much to us and helped, you know, sacrifice their lives for us, and it's just, it's something that, you know, something small that we can do to give back.
Absolutely. So how do you pick these 11 veterans? I bet that's hard.
Well, we look for nominations. Some of them are, like when we go out and do jobs, if there's someone who's helping us, I try to keep an eye or an ear open to hear someone who's a veteran. You know, we watch news stories and see anyone who's a veteran. One year it was kind of neat. The Riverman came with us, and this man was a big Riverman fan, and the Riverman worked with us and gave us a name. So we went to his house, and it was the neatest thing because he was in the house, and this charter bus pulls up in his neighborhood, and so I yell out, "Can you come outside?" Because they're all inside with him, and you couldn't have timed it any better. As he walked out the front door, the first Riverman came off the bus, and every one of them came off the bus and just stood there, and then the wife just started crying, and she had to give every one of them a hug. It's just so neat. So we do look for nominations of anyone that does know someone who's a veteran. There's no specific requirement that they didn't need to be in the service for years. We've met people when we've been going out. One gentleman had been at Pearl Harbor. One lady this week had served 20 years. Some are just in for 4 years. You know, there's no special, we just want to thank them, and we do 11 each year. We'd like to do more, but it's kind of the 11th month, the 11th day, and that's why we chose 11.
Cool.
So if someone wants to make a nomination, how do they do that?
They can call 363-3737, or we also have an email. You can just email us, and I will take them throughout the year so we can have them, because we do need 11, and sometimes when you're down at the end, it's like, oh no, who can we pick? Or info@ivfullercenter.org.
Do you guys have a website?
Yes, we have a website too, www.ivfullercenter.
ivfullercenter.com.
Yes.
Are you active on social media with a Facebook page?
We are on
Perfect.
Facebook. We've got a lot of following there. we post all of our events on there, and if anyone's interested in volunteering or knowing more about us, we send out a weekly newsletter, so they can drop us a note with their email address, and we'll send that out each week. We do have 3 fundraisers a year
Okay.
that we have. We just had one last week, which was Pasta for Patriots. We have a spaghetti dinner down at the Elks Club. And then we have a 5K run in May on Memorial Day. And then we also have a pancake breakfast in April. So those are the major 3 ways that we raise money. And then we also go out and do some fundraising nights at different restaurants and things like that. But we don't accept government money. That we were founded by Millard and Linda Fuller, and they wanted a grassroots organization. They had founded another organization back in 1976, left that organization after a disagreement with the board. They got too big and things, so they left and founded the Fuller Center. And Millard's wish was to help the local affiliates of the other organization, but then Hurricane Katrina hit, and they called Millard, and they said, you know, you need to get down here and help us. So Millard went down and helped, and he's since died. And Linda Fuller is still very involved in the Fuller Center, as is Jimmy Carter. So most Fuller Centers do build houses and do repairs, but we are the only one of all the affiliates, and we're in different countries also. We're the only one that focuses solely on veterans.
Okay.
Other Fuller Centers do, you know, low-income housing.
Okay. So your focus is just veterans.
Yes, we focus, and widows. We will help widows. Recently, we had a lady call in. Her husband just got deployed, and her furnace went out, so Fritch was right out there to fix it. It was amazing, and it was so neat because he sent a message on Facebook and said that he was so thankful that we were able to go out and get his furnace fixed, because he's not able to do that.
Right.
He's over serving our country, and they had just gotten married in August. They're actually the family that does my milk caps for us.
Oh, nice.
It is, and their last name's Fuller too, which was so weird.
That's so fitting.
I know, it is fitting. They're an amazing couple. But it's just neat that we can go out into the home. So we do have an office. We have an office over at the Farm Bureau building. We rent a very small space,
Okay.
but everybody says centers, so they think we have this facility that you can come and sit at and visit. We really don't do that, because all of our jobs are done in people's homes. So we do have a small storage space that we keep like rakes and things like that in, but we just go to the homes and do all the work. And, we've redone porches. We don't do wheelchair ramps, because if the veteran is in the VA system, they are able to get a aluminum wheelchair ramp from the VA. So we don't do that. But if someone's wheelchair ramp, that the wooden ones are deteriorating, we will go out and fix those up for them. It's just amazing. We've done over 170 different projects in our time that we've been here. The first year we did like 25. The second year we did 50, and it's just went up and up and up. And this
Sure.
morning I got a call already that somebody needs help. So it's neat that we are able to go out and do that
Yeah.
and help people, because the need is really there, and that's why we focused on veterans, because Greg Woith is the co-founder with me, and he had died in March, so he's not here anymore to help out. But so he always took the calls and everything, and designated the work. So he did a lot of that, and so.
Are you ever having to turn anyone away for jobs that they request?
The wheelchair ramps we do, and roofing, because the roofing, we cannot do that because of liability.
Sure.
But as far as if we're too busy, no. We are not too busy that we cannot do any jobs. And Woody, who he took over as president, and he's also in charge of the home repairs, he goes out within hours sometimes, because sometimes they have no running, or the water heater maybe went out,
Sure.
they have no hot water, because our main focus is safety and security. Now, we go out for needs and not want. You may want your room remodeled, you may want but you don't need it.
Right.
And because we raise the funds to do it, we want to make sure and help the people who truly, truly need it. Now, if someone is above our income guidelines, if they will pay for the materials, we will go ahead and do the work for them. And we've done a lot of those projects for them. Recently, we partnered with Bradley Physical Therapy and went over to Creve Coeur and did this house and the yard was just a jungle. I mean, you just literally walked in it, and the city of East Peoria came out and brought chippers and everything, and they
Wow.
came out on a Saturday and chipped all this stuff, and it was just amazing to see the transformation. And you can go on our Facebook page and see that, because it really, the girls said it's like a jungle we're walking into, and it really was.
Yeah.
Some of the situations are really bad, and you just don't know.
So when you have projects come out, how do you get your volunteers? Do you have a list of people that you
We
call, or?
We have a list of people. We work with Bradley Service on Saturday to do a lot of the yard cleanups.
Okay.
We have people contact us via our email, and we get a lot of people that way. We send out this weekly newsletter telling things that are coming up, so we get a lot of people that way. One of the ways we got a lot of people was at the riverfront. I mean, that is a great networking tool, not only to sell the shirts, but just the people coming by to talk to them and sharing what we do. And we got a lot of volunteers out of that. So because of a lot of the spaces are very limited, like we go into bathrooms and you can only take 2 or 3
Sure.
people. So we, so Woody has a list of his basic people that he has helped them. So he takes those people, he sends out a text message and says, I'm going to go to this house. If you're available, come over. Now, if it's a bigger project where it's a house, which we painted about 4 houses this year, then we reach out to those groups that we have in our contact. Like RWB is a really neat group. They're all veterans, and they came out and helped us paint a house.
Very cool.
The Notre Dame Key Club helped us paint a house, because when it's an outside project, you can get so many people involved.
Absolutely.
So that's really a neat way to get people. Now, the Civic Center, we also have a certain crew to do that. We go and work the Riverman games, Bradley games, concerts. So they give you the concession stand. You go in, you cook the food, serve the food, clean up, and that's a fun thing.
Now, when you're doing that, are you allowed to wear your
Yes,
marketing so that guests know that they're coming to your
Volunteers.
concession versus another
Yes.
concession, for example?
Yes, we have, well, this is one of the shirts we wear, and this one says, let's make every day Veterans Day. So we have this one, and then we also have a Help Us Help Veterans, that we wear red shirts, and then you have to wear black pants. And then on the back of the shirt gives our phone number. So as we're fixing the food, people can see who we are and what we do. I mean, you can also talk to them, but they're really not interested in hearing your whole story when you're standing there and they're waiting for their hot dog.
Right.
And they're more like, I just want to get back in and watch the game. I don't want to just talk to you.
But you only have like one booth then for the
Yes.
food, so when
Yeah.
you go to events at the Civic Center, you can go and kind of search you guys out.
Right,
Are
and
you
they-
always in the same area, or?
Kind of. And then they also have 2 other groups, a couple high schools that come so they can raise funds for their bands and things like that. And the concerts are just unbelievable. Those are the most amazing things. They're so much fun.
Yeah, so just make sure when you go to the concession stand, you seek out the one that's the nonprofit
The red
one.
shirt. Yeah. Or the I know that the Gray Ghost in Chillicothe, they also do it. And a lot of people have kids that go to Chillicothe. So
Yeah, that's great that they do that.
it is. It really makes I know the Chiefs does it too. We did that one year, but we're kind of old. And the first night we worked, we had to stay till 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like,
my.
oh my goodness, I can't
Yeah,
handle
it
this.
is- It is a lot of work.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, because most of us that do the concession are, 50 to 60, and we do need our rest.
1 o'clock's past my bedtime too. We do.
yeah.
I'm like, when is this ever going to be over? I thought it would just be, and then you have to get there real early to set up, so it's
a long
you
day,
can be
and
there
on
like
your
3
feet.
to 1.
Yeah, you're working for those dollars from the concession stand.
Absolutely,
for
because
sure.
you're running, and there you had to you make your own pizza there. So Greg, he had lost his legs, so he was in a wheelchair back there cooking
Wow.
the pizzas in his wheelchair, and so he would cook them, and it just comes through, and then you take them out, and then they had hot dogs and stuff, but those pizzas are fresh made every,
I didn't know that
and they were
either.
good.
Man, I'm learning a lot today. I
There's
know
a
we
lot
were
out there.
We were talking a little bit about Veterans Day parade. That's tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Do we know anything about that? I don't know where it is or.
It's at 10 o'clock, and I believe it's the same route as the Santa Claus Parade. I know it starts over here at Adams. If anyone's free tomorrow, come out, because I've heard that the attendance is not very big of the crowds coming out there. Now, every year Home Depot builds us a float for the West Peoria July 4th Parade. Well, this year they're not able to provide us with a truck, so one of their vendors is providing us with a vintage ambulance.
Cool.
So we're going to walk alongside the ambulance and pass out candy. This is the first year we've ever been in it, so I'm kind of excited about that. So I think it's an orange ambulance, maybe. It's exciting, but it goes downtown in Adams, and then I believe they stop at the courthouse and have a ceremony over at the courthouse by the
Okay.
veterans area there.
Okay. And that's 10 a.m. tomorrow, downtown
10 a.m.
Peoria.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's remind, so we're in the neighborhood. Thank you everyone who's listening. What's the website again that people can learn more about?
www.ivfullercenter.com.
Okay. And then they can also call or email, and
Right.
then you're also on Facebook. And
Yes.
sounds like you're doing some good posting too of all the different things you guys have been doing.
Yeah, we do try to post and keep everything up to date. And we've got a lot of the gifts that we've given out this week to the veterans is on our Facebook page. Actually, on Monday, we had Channel 25 followed us around and took pictures, took a video of us giving out the gifts to the different ones.
That's very
So
cool.
we're going to do 3 more next week because they were out of town. So the Notre Dame girls are like, oh, I can't believe we're going to do it next week too. It's just so neat to see the youth in there, and they're just so excited. And then when we do go to the veterans and give them the gifts, we ask them if they can share. Some can't share, but if they can share any of their years of service and where they served and things like that. So it's really neat to get those youth involved in hearing stories from the people who had served.
Absolutely.
Understanding the sacrifice.
Right. And getting youth involved and not to forget.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Remembrance.
absolutely.
Exactly. That's what it's all about.
Later this afternoon, Stacy and I are both headed over to the Gateway Building because the 2 Rotaries in town always do an annual celebration for Veterans Day. So we're going to pack the Gateway full of Rotarians and veterans and active military and just
Recognize 'em.
celebrate the day.
Yeah, and you've got a lot of military in the Rotary. I know
Oh,
that,
absolutely.
Colonel Robertson, now he just
Yeah.
got promoted. He's in there. And then Frank Rizak.
Absolutely. And they play the theme song for every branch. So it's almost like a high school reunion type,
Pep rally.
Absolutely.
Really.
It's a pep rally for veterans.
That's
and,
neat.
And
It
we
is
have
really
the
cool.
182nd Air Wing comes out and they do the full flag ceremony and the table ceremony for the PWA and all that kind of good stuff. So it's a really emotional day, but it's a really good thing that we do for our community.
It is neat. Jahan Gordon has a breakfast tomorrow for all veterans over in the Heights.
Okay.
I'll be over there
Perfect.
serving before the parade. You just go in and you get to eat all
And
the
where is
pancakes.
that in the Heights?
It's I think it's the VFW in the Heights. It's
Okay.
on Prospect, and then you take a right. There's a big sign,
Yep.
and she's over there and serves breakfast.
Wow.
And then, of course, there's so many restaurants in
Yeah.
town that they can go to. I mean, you could eat all day and all night.
I've seen that list floating
Texas
around
Roadhouse,
Facebook.
And yeah, they're all on there.
And I
so.
think that the Golden Corral is doing theirs a couple days later to give people a chance to go out to other places and then go in there.
Nice.
Interesting.
It is interesting. But, we're there if veterans need our services, if someone knows someone a veteran who does need something, we will get out as fast as we can to take care of it because, like I said, it's safety and security. And I think a lot of the widows aren't able to do things because their husband has died and then they're kind of left there and can't really take care of the house.
And you said they're too proud to ask for help themselves, so
absolutely.
they're not going to get it done, and they'll just live with whatever situation it
Right,
happens
like the
to
guy
be.
with the 10 years no water. I mean, he just
That's
he
insane.
just learned to live with that. We went to a lady in Chillicothe. She's a widow, and you go in there, and her kitchen is all full of bottles. So she washed her dishes with bottles of water. She heated her water on the stove to take a bath. And that's another situation where someone was coming in to repair something. They went in there and they just left it. The beams downstairs were not even connected, so she could have really fallen through her bathtub to get through
Wow.
the floor because,
Oh my gosh.
I mean, the people just walked away and left it like that.
How awful.
It was awful. And
So you're having to go in and clean other contractors or yourself
handyman.
handyman's work.
Unacceptable. That's heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking, and you see that people are having to live with those water bottles. I mean, you shouldn't have to do that. I mean, I go when they say your water is shut off for a few hours. I'm like, oh my goodness, I couldn't imagine a week
Yeah.
not taking
Or
a
having
shower.
a boil order or something like that.
Right, and then they go to people's houses, friends, neighbors to take a shower. I mean, it's sad. It just breaks your heart.
So we only have a couple minutes left. So just, I guess, be aware, right? When we're out and about in the community, to be aware of your neighbors, friends, family, or anyone you know that's a veteran or a widow that might need some help, that the Fuller Center is able to do that. So that's so awesome. And I really appreciate you coming out and sharing that. So let's tell them the website one more time in case somebody wants to go out and volunteer or make a request.
It's
Or
www.ivfullercenter.com. They can also call. You'll hear my voice. I'll be answering the phone, 363-3737. And you can also email us, info@ivfullercenter.org, and we get right back with you. We will be getting into the peak area of the Civic Center if anybody wants to come and help us. We're going to be doing yard cleanups the next couple of weeks, so we'll be doing that. We go out and rake the yards for 2 hours. If anyone knows a veteran that still needs a furnace check, we still have some funds available for that. Ameren gave us a grant to do that, so we do partner with Fritz Heating, so you don't have to worry about me coming out to fix your furnace.
you're not a furnace fixer?
Oh, come on, Debbie.
I do the fundraising, the Civic Center. I do raking, but I'm not a fix-it. I have done a couple of saw projects, so where I use the saw, but I had to be instructed how to.
Yep. But it's fun, isn't it?
It is. I can paint, not too good, but as long as you can slop it on.
We do the best that we can with what we
That's
have, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Well, we're on Facebook, so make sure that you like and share, and we'll see you on the internet.
Thanks to all of our veterans as we honor you on Veterans Day, which is actually tomorrow.
Yes.
But thank you so much for your time. Thank you, ladies, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank
And
you.
We'll see you later.
Okay.
PeoriaLife.com